So I've been doing a series on the word conspiracy, and I just finished doing a live stream in regards to the 14th chapter of the book of Isaiah and the conspiracy of Lucifer against the Most High God. And I thought I would just peruse and see what I could discover on YouTube, and I came to the famous Sheriff Grady. And I was shocked because there were arrested 8 football players from a high school team in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, that went down to Florida to play in a championship game. And instead of getting ready for the game and having a good time, 8 of these players from the Thoroughbred team went to the Dick's Sporting Goods and conducted mass theft. Well, I guess down there where this gentleman is sheriff, they still believe in the law. And so all 8 of them were arrested. And you can see this video for yourself. I'm only playing the latter portion of it where it's sort of the question-answer time where the word conspiracy is going to come up. So you might have to listen in for just a minute. He's going to be asked a question about, do you see a lot of theft at this time of the year, meaning Christmas time of the year? Because the recording of this video is it was December the 8th, broadcast on YouTube. Mine, I believe it's December the 9th, I'm recording it.
Product for gifts in small order. I am hugely frustrated with this. The coaching, the supervision wasn't there, or these kids wouldn't have been running wild. These kids knew better. Maybe you steal stuff in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania and get away with it. Hey, here's a note to people in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you hold kids accountable and responsible, and they know if they go in a store and steal, they're going to be held accountable, they don't do it. You didn't see 8 kids from Polk County in a store this weekend stealing, did ya? And there's 850,000 people in this county. Well, and then you have a coach comes down there and tries to beg them out of it instead of holding them accountable. It's frustrating. But our crime in Polk County is a 53-year low. Ask and see if crime in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is at a 53-year low.
So they were taken to the juvenile center. What's next? Have they
Juvenile Assessment Center.
Have they had their first appearances?
What happens is they will be referred for criminal charges to the state attorney's office and the juvenile system. And at that point in time, they'll have to come back. So they're all going to have another trip to Polk County because they're going to be held accountable here for their criminal conduct. It's a felony. They were charged with felony retail theft and also conspiracy to commit felony retail theft. And it's ironic that they would try that in Polk County to start with. The next thing that is interesting is we have one of the few organized retail crime teams in the state of Florida in Polk County. So there's your sign.
So I hope you heard the word conspiracy, that they were charged with the felony of retail theft and the conspiracy for retail theft. So I thought that's interesting because over the last several years, everybody's been conditioned to not use this word, and anybody that uses it is somewhat insane. And here, the code of law tells us that even to conspire to have felony theft is a crime. So we'll go to AI, and AI will tell us a little something about this. that a conspiracy to commit a felony is an agreement between two or more people to carry out an illegal act, a felony, that carries serious legal penalties, often similar to actually committing the crime itself, requiring an overt act by at least one member to further the plan, and involve white-collar schemes, drug offenses, violent crimes, with defenses including proving no agreement, intent, or overt action occurred. So if you check the criminal codes and the statutes, as obviously being mentioned here, one of them, in South Carolina, the code, section 16-17-410, conspiracy. To conspire, a person who commits the crime of conspiracy is guilty of a felony, and upon conviction must be fined not more than $5,000 or imprisoned more than 5 years. So obviously the word conspiracy has entered into the legal system, and yet over and over and over again, the media pounded you and me with the idea and the concept that conspiracy is a theory, and anybody who talks about it is half insane, if not completely insane, and there are no conspiracies anywhere. And yet Sheriff Grady is insisting that these individuals on this football team from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, are going to be charged with conspiracy to commit felony retail theft.
Apologetic or
No, none of them confessed, none of them talked, and they were ultimately charged and will be charged as we talk about here. But here's what's interesting about it. They let the team down. What about the rest of the kids on the team that came from Philadelphia to compete for a national championship? These guys let the rest of the team down. It's a shame for the rest of the thoroughbreds, but it goes to show you can do the right thing and win championships. They did the right thing. You can do the wrong thing and end up in jail and let your football team down. So they'll never know whether or not they could have bested this really great team from Cocoa. But I tell you this, if you steal in Polk County, you go to jail. And I don't want to hear you whine and you're complaining and you're belly aching and all of that nonsense. If you don't steal, we're your new best friends. If you steal, we're your worst enemy. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Sheriff Taylor. Oh, Sheriff Taylor, no. Sheriff Grady, I'm sorry. Anyhow, you can observe the story for yourself. There were about 8 of them from the high school football team coming down from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I guess they all decided they would go on kind of a wild spree and conduct one of these shopping theft sort of thing. Everybody go in the store and help themselves and walk out with whatever you want without paying for it. But not in Florida and Sheriff Grady. Thank you for watching.